Okay, everyone, it's time for Pick a Pile. You have 4 piles to choose from. The first pile is a clear quartz crystal. The second pile is Brazilian fluorite. The third pile is smoky quartz. And the fourth pile is deep purple amethyst. It's actually a geode. I'll give you a close-up of those following this. Hold on a sec. If you choose crystal number 1, you're choosing a clear quartz crystal from Itero Mine in Uruguay, Colorado. This is for pile number 1, the clear quartz crystal cluster. If you're choosing pile number 2, you're selecting the Brazilian fluorite crystal. I'll let you get a little closer here so you can see all the variation in the crystal. It's quite beautiful, actually. That is crystal number 2, and it is the fluorite. If you were drawn to pile number 3, you selected the smoky quartz crystal. If you've selected pile number 4, then you've chosen the deep purple amethyst. This is actually a geode. It's quite beautiful. That's pile number 4. Hello, pile 1. You chose the quartz crystal from Colorado. Hopefully you can see this pretty well. This was your crystal. And you have pile 1. It's actually really gorgeous. It's from the Itero Mines in Colorado. Pretty spectacular little crystal here. Okay, so let's see what message Spirit has for you. The first card that you're getting is the Animal Spirit card of Oyster. Oyster actually speaks to having hidden treasures inside. All oysters have a pearl, right? And it's time to kind of crack your oyster shell open and share with the world what treasures you have inside. See the light coming from the oyster? It's time to shine your light. And it also looks like confetti there. People will celebrate what you have to share with the world. The second card that you received is the fault line. And the fault line speaks to there being a crack in the surface, much like an earthquake. But this fault line actually is like Japanese pottery. When they fill it with gold, when it breaks and it becomes more beautiful. You are more beautiful because of everything that you've gone through. You're headed for a foundational shift in your energy. There are precarious dynamics that kind of kept you walking on eggshells. That's what developed this fault line in the first place. Okay? But you're headed for a shift in energy because of it. Prepare yourself for some change, because a crack like this has to go somewhere. The next card that you got was Alchemy. This is from the Sacred Earth Oracle. And this is saying that it's time for you to acknowledge something that's been an obstacle that's been standing in your way and keeping you from realizing your own treasure, your own value. You've been tiptoeing around this issue for some time, but the moment is at hand. There's no more denying. It's time for the wheel to turn here. You have your own strengths and you have your own quirks, and your idiosyncrasies are what make you special. Experiment with them. Experiment with what you have and give it value. Something within you is shifting, and it's time to meditate on this. All of this speaks to some kind of spiritual awakening and expansion, some kind of self-acceptance and appreciation, and deeper connections that will arise because of this, both with yourself and with others. Next, we go to the Psychic Tarot, and here you have Truth. Again, another card from Spirit saying that you need spiritual clarity. There's a revelation of truth here, a wake-up call. Set your attention to heal yourself, to get over whatever it is that's kept you closed, keeping your treasures a secret. It's time to celebrate yourself. Your idiosyncrasies and quirks, the things that you're afraid to show other people, it's time to realize your truth, who you truly are, who you were truly meant to be. You see, this is on a scale of justice. You see him on a scale of justice? There are two scales here, right? It's time for things to be balanced in your favor. Next, we get the Andean cross, and this was actually in the upright when I pulled it, so I'll read it that way. The Andean cross is actually from the Secret Shaman Oracle, and this represents the cosmology of the shaman, right? You've got the four directions here, north, east, south, and west, right? In South America, you've got the jaguar, the eagle, the hummingbird, and the serpent, right? The jaguar, unafraid to explore those deeper sides of self, the shadow aspects of self, to come to know their own truth. The serpent, who maintained the garden, who kept the wisdom, right? The eagle, who flies high with spirit and connects you with a higher self and great spirit. And the hummingbird, who knows where to get its nectar. When it's time to fly south, that's what they do. The hummingbird is always busy. And also in Roman culture, they say the hummingbird is actually a Roman warrior returning from battle. So you've got the four aspects here, right? The four directions. The upper and lower worlds are telling you that it's time to start your own spiritual journey. This is all very indicative of a spiritual journey and spiritual awakening, right? You're right on the precipice of doing this, of going within and finding your truth and showing the world the real you. It's time for that journey to begin. You need to allow your intuition to guide you right now. It's putting you on the path. There's no avoiding it anymore. You got the Moonology card, a new start is coming with almost a full eclipse of the moon here. It's a new moon. It's a new day. It's a new dawning. You're about to be blessed in some way. And you're being put on the course. You're being put on the path. You're being put on the path. This is not your path. This is your path. After that, we got the Good Tarot, and you got the cards Love, the Queen of Air, and the Fool. Spirit loves you unconditionally, and it's time that you start loving yourself the way that Spirit does. If Spirit can love you that way, right? Ask yourself the question, what's keeping me from loving myself in the same regard? It's time to find your inner strength and conquer your fears and your demons. Again, Jaguar here, right? Andean cross. To go within and to conquer those fears that will allow you to fully awaken. You need to share your true self here. This is Spirit incarnate in this lion, right? And it also represents the lion from a traditional religious aspect, yes. It also represents Leo. But it also represents walking through those two pillars to find your path to yourself. Queen of Air is about truth. Finding your truth. Again, another card about truth. In another deck, this would be Queen of Swords, right? She's all about the truth. Swords are about truth. They're about messages. They're about communication. The Owl of Wisdom. This is time to find the truth about yourself, to communicate with your higher self about who you really are, what you really have to share with the world. Let go of the false truths that other people put on you, placed upon you, about who you were, the expectations that you've been living up to from other people. Align with these new intentions and gain new understanding of yourself and who you really are and who you're meant to be. And the Fool. In other decks, you could say that the Fool takes a leap of faith. In this particular deck, and in this instance and in this story, I would say that you need to have faith that you're being put on this path for a reason, that everything will work out. That if you show the world the real you, the worst will not happen, the best will happen. In this card, I love that she's playing a trumpet. It's almost like in Revelation when the trumpets blare, right? And you've got this aura of sunlight around her that is vibing to this frequency of the trumpet. And then you've got all these orbs, like all your ancestors around you saying, hurrah, you know? You're finally awakening to the true you. A spiritual approach rarely appears logical or practical, but you can trust right now that anything you do, if you listen to your intuition, will work out okay and work out in your favor, all right? From a shadow aspect, I wanted to add the murder of crows. What is it that you're afraid of? And here we have Two of Cups in reverse. I'm going to flip it over just so I can read you the card. This particular Two of Cups gives me the vibe of two people standing in front of each other with half full cups. Their cups are half empty, not half full, right? That's what I meant to say. Sorry. And both crows are speaking. They're both speaking, but these two people are just staring at each other. Do the people in your life fill up your cup? Do you fill up the cup of other people in your life? You should both have full cups. It isn't your responsibility to take care of someone else's cup filling. It's theirs. And vice versa. It's nobody else's responsibility to take care of your cup either. This is about being self-validating and being in love with self enough so that you don't look for it outside in somebody else. There's a lack of honest communication between you and some of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. When you're untrue about who you are and you're trying to live up to others' expectations and you're presenting a false self and they're presenting false selves, you're all lonely. It just creates loneliness in everyone that's involved. If you can't truly be yourself around these people, if there's no attuned listening to one another, if it's all attention seeking, if there's limited intimacy, if you can't be honest, if you can't see yourself in their eyes, not who you truly are, then maybe those relationships are not what you need to be focusing on right now. Finally, we're going to go to the Light Seers Tarot. I have 4 cards for you here. Spirit felt it necessary to give me yet an extra one, which was the Hanged Man, which I thought was quite humorous because, I have one more card after this to finish this up, and this is really about spiritual awakening, being conscious of your intuition, hanging out with spirit. You're kind of in this fault line position, right? Where you're dangling above the water upside down here. The water of emotion. You're biding your time. You're connecting with your higher self, right? But you got the Ace of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Star. So let's start here. Although I kind of gave the Hangman piece of it away already. That's okay. So Ace of Cups is really a message about new beginnings. It's about new communication. And I'm going to say in this reading, this is about the love of self. See how she's got this full cup? And in her full cup is a heart that shines and vibrates because you're putting out a different energy. So you're attracting different energies to you now. With the love of self, with the true love of the true self, your electromagnetic field gives off a different energy and you attract different things into your reality. This is what manifestation is about. But you can't give a cup until you have a full cup for yourself, and vice versa. So not only do you need to do this for yourself, but consider seeking out others who are doing it for themselves or who also have full cups to offer you. Your capacity for love of yourself, is expanding through this process. So make sure that you're not repressing your ability to connect with yourself and with others. because you're overprotective or you're afraid. You're worried about what people think about your quirks and idiosyncrasies. You also need to forgive yourself for any mistakes that you've made in the past, any connections that you've had that were unhealthy, any toxic behaviors. Until you can love yourself, until you love the self, until you go through this spiritual awakening in this process, you didn't know what you were dealing with, right? That's why they call it an awakening, because you didn't know before. So you have to give yourself some compassion on this path and understand you didn't know what you knew until you knew it. And now that you do, you can do something differently, right? King of Cups. I think that you're a very loving and nurturing, an emotionally intelligent person who's empathetic, right? Or perhaps you have a mentor, someone that you trust, someone that's a friend who is emotionally intelligent and nurturing. King of Cups and other decks can sometimes be a little closed off from their own emotions and showing those to others. Perhaps that's you as well, right? Their emotion is the depth of the ocean, King of Cups. But you see how he sits there with his finger in his pot, just kind of stirring it all by himself with his back to his emotions. Don't sail away. Focus on self. He's also got a tiger's eye bracelet on, right? Which is about protection and strength and courage. He's on a spiritual awakening as well. You see how his heart chakra is radiating outward? And there's this aura around his crown chakra. His crown chakra is lit up. That's about spiritual awakening, right? Finding the love of self here. You've got a theme running. You've got a theme running through this. The last card is the Star. Your future is incredibly bright, and you're blessed by the universe. This path that you're on is tied to your mission and your purpose. You need to step on this path. It will bring you fulfillment, and it will allow you to shine and share these inner gifts with the outer world. Do you see how many cards here, you guys, have orbs on them? There's just orbs everywhere. There's just spirit-filled orbs everywhere, okay? Spirit-filled orbs everywhere. Now, I know that artists, like to do this in spiritual cards, but look at this. This is the universe speaking to you here. This is the universe speaking to you. Personal truth, your inner treasures. You're walking on eggshells. It's time. You've been put on the path. It's time to be true to yourself. I mean, I was in awe of this pile. It was amazing. It's all about starting. It's all about getting on the new path. It's all about walking away from connections that not only are no longer fulfilling to you, but so that you can have connections with other people where, it's an equal give and take. You're not giving from empty cups. The final card that I got for you guys from the Wisdom of the Oracle was Poise, which I was like, okay, hurrah. This is like the best final card. You're in a crystal palace here, right? This is like a fairy palace. Look at all the energy coming off of this crystal. And that's you. You're poised to take the next step. You're ready to bring something new to life. See how she spreads her fairy wings? She has a wand in each hand. She's manifesting. Could be he or she. I'm just talking about the energy in the card, guys. Something is going to begin for you guys. You guys are poised and you're ready to begin this new juncture of your life. Even if you don't feel it. Remember the Fool card that we had? You need to take the leap of faith and know that you're being put on this path for a reason. It's an auspicious time for you. Get ready for change to happen. You don't have anything to prove to anybody. Your quirks and idiosyncrasies, remember, your quirks and idiosyncrasies are what make you different. Those pearls you haven't opened up to show anyone, that is what you should be sharing with the universe. This is your new start. This is your new start. And there are harmonious connections coming into your life that you're about to see. And they're going to make all the difference in the world. All right, guys? That's what I have for you for pile one. I hope this resonated with you guys. I think it's a beautiful message. Yeah, it's a beautiful message. And it was all incredibly cohesive. And the story just spilled right out. When I asked Spirit for this pile, I was amazed at what came out. That's normally what I do, just so you know how this process works. I will take all of my decks and I will shuffle until it stops. And I will collect all those cards into a pile. I will ask Spirit, whoever picks this crystal, what message is it that you want them to know from each of these decks? And then that entire pile I take back and I review and I know, oh, there's this, that's what they want. That's the message that Spirit wants you to hear. You've got beautiful things coming, guys. All right? This is absolutely beautiful. So I'll leave it at that, and I will timestamp this down below. If you picked another pile as well, you're welcome to read that message too. There could be something in there that may resonate with you, okay? And if this did resonate with you and you like the reading and you want to hear more from the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks, guys. Hey, pile 2, you guys picked the Brazilian fluorite. Beautiful stone. Hope you can see it well there. It's an obelisk, right? Clear quartz at the bottom is actually fluorite, and then colored in like this amethyst with a jade green at the top. Gorgeous stone. That was your stone, and now we'll go through your reading with you. The first card that Spirit selected for you was the Mouse Spirit, followed by the archetype, the Unseen, and then Efficacy, which I thought was efficiency, which I thought was kind of interesting. The Mouse Spirit here, this animal spirit, this is about being busied and hurried and hectic. This is about keeping yourself occupied with little things, with tasks, with busy work, right? And sometimes we do this as a means of distracting ourselves from the larger issues at hand, the shadow aspects of self, the deeper things that trouble us. As long as we can have a to-do list with all of these things that have to get done, that must get done, it's difficult to sit and be quiet and spend time with Spirit because we always have something going on. It's that fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing every detail, every desire. Sometimes the Mouse Spirit doesn't know when it's gone too far with others around them and trying to be controlling of what is going on and the details of what is happening and the details of what is being planned. Not everyone is like Mouse Spirit. This can be painful for the person who is doing this. It can be difficult for people around them. And so the recommendation here from Spirit is to try and find something more purposeful to spend time on. A purposeful project that you can delve into, and one that's actually worth your exacting eye. The detail and the planning that you give to things. And by purposeful, I mean something larger than yourself. Perhaps it's a charity organization that you work with, or it's something that is meaningful to you on a spiritual level. Something that is creative, that sparks your creative spirit, but something other than the busy day-to-day to-do list. And I think during the COVID situation, during all of this pandemic, all of us have been a little bit like this because we're all trapped at home and we've gotten used to this routine, right? But it's time to kind of break out of that right now. And this will evolve, this message evolves, so I will let you know that because I know what's coming here for you. The Unseen was the next card that we got as an archetype. And this is basically saying that even though you can't see Spirit and you can't see a divine connection and you can't touch the other side, right? Spirit sees you. Your spirit guides see you. Your ancestors see you. You are not unseen. You are not alone. You have support out there in the universe. You can intuit things even if you can't see them. And then sometimes, particularly if you're a very practical, very detailed, very logical person, you doubt what you intuit because you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it. You think, oh, I'm crazy, that didn't really happen, or oh, that was just the wind blowing, or whatever it may be. You need to start learning how to trust your intuition a little bit more than you currently do. And don't negate the things that happen that your intuition is telling you are messages, synchronicities, things that are coming up for you because they're supposed to be coming up for you right now. I know they challenge your perception of reality, but you need to listen even if the message is uncomfortable. And I thought that was interesting that this was the archetype card you got, considering this was the opening card here. So efficiency here is the Sacred Earth Oracle message for you. And it says, and I kid you not, you can't make stuff like this up. When I sit down to do these cards, what I end up doing is I end up taking all of my decks and I shuffle them. And as cards come out from Spirit, I don't pull them, I let them come out. I just set them aside for each of the piles. And then I go back and I say, okay, what came out for pile 1? What came out for pile 2? What came out for pile 3? And it's amazing, the stories and the messages that Spirit wants to give and the way the cards are selected that all tie together. I encourage you, if you liked more than one crystal, or were drawn to more than one crystal, I should say, to go and see those messages as well, because they're pretty amazing. I think Spirit's pretty amazing, and how it works through all of us. So efficiency, I'm back to the subject at hand. This is unnecessary or fruitless struggle, right? The fruitless struggle here that we were talking about earlier. And this is saying that a fresh approach is going to bring you better rewards from what you're doing. All this time and energy you're spending on things is not giving you what it is that you want. You need to look for ways to do more with less so that you won't be so busy. If it's really a time constraint and not a personal choice that is keeping you so pressured to do these things, you need to look at ways to be more efficient with your time so you can do more with less. You need to make adjustments in your methodologies so you can make a massive difference in how much time you have available to do other things. And there's a reason for this, and we'll get to that, okay? Then you get the Psychic Tarot. Prosperity begins. This is a 1 card. This is Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. This is at the root, okay? This is a new beginning. You're going to get a new beginning unexpectedly. And what Spirit's trying to tell you is clear the decks here, guys. Make time for what's coming because you have a new beginning coming. Try and focus on the most beneficial outcome for this new project or job, and it will have a successful result. So something bigger is coming. You need to make time and clear the decks for this new situation that's coming your way. From Secret Shaman, you got fire. And fire is telling you to follow your passions. So the busy work here, right? And that being tied up 24/7 is not allowing you to follow your passions, the things that you're interested in about. You know, Spirit gives you passion towards something for a reason. That is your purpose. Your passion is your purpose. If you follow your passion, you will find your purpose in life. What are you passionate about? What were you once passionate about that you walked away from, that you're no longer paying attention to? Has your life become too rigid, right? With this mouse card, is it too cold? Is it too superficial? Spirit is telling you here, light a candle, say a prayer, or create a bonfire, and do like the Tibetan practice and draw out a shape of a human being on the paper and write on it all the things that you want to transform in your life, and then throw it into the fire and burn it away, right? Maybe you're overburdened with things that you feel like you have to do because they're all obligations and they bring you no joy because they're not your passion. You need to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, but this will help you. So, you can do that ritual. I've done it before, like on the equinox I've done it before. And also when I've wanted to let go of things, I've done that practice before, and it's been amazingly helpful. So that might be something that helps you. But, ooh, the light just went out. That's interesting. Huh, okay. Well, we are going to continue. I'm not going to change because apparently that went out for a reason. So there we go. Supposed to pay attention to that, I guess, huh? Oh, step out of your comfort zone, right. So Moonology is telling you it's time to leave the past behind. You're headed in the right direction. You've got this new stuff coming up. You need to let go of all that stuff and follow your passion. You need to get going towards the things that scare you within reason. And you need to dare to do something differently. This card asked you to do something differently, right? This card said, do something differently. This card said, you have a new beginning. This is like, get rid of the past, follow your passions, do something differently. And this is saying, step out of your comfort zone and do something differently. Stop obsessing over others or other things that are distractions. Well, that's just like the mouse card, right? It's just like the mouse card. So when Spirit gives you cards that mean the same thing, this is, you can take this to the bank, right? This is a drive it home message. When lights go out in readings or candles go out or things fall or whatever, animals make noises, like there's all kinds of things that happen during readings that say, pay attention to this, seriously. Don't fritter away time. You don't have a lot to waste. You've got new stuff coming in. Step out of your comfort zone, follow your passions, take up something that you left behind, that you love doing. Find ways to do more with less so that you can get out of this energy and into this energy. Okay? Next, we got the Good Tarot. Done belaboring that point. You got the Moon. Things are unhidden. See, Spirit knows even if you can't see it. There may be unseen, which is the Moon card, right? But good things are coming. You just can't see them right now. Four of Water, which is Four of Cups. And transformation, right? Okay, so the Moon card is essentially telling you that things are hidden from you. Intuitively, you know, you can feel the energy of what's coming, right? I think you can. I think you can feel the energy of what's coming. It's important, though, that you need to trust the mystery, right? Trust that Spirit has a reason for asking you to do these things, to clean the decks, right? And make space for what's coming for you. Because Spirit knows what's coming for you, okay? When your plans don't come to fruition, the things that you've been trying to work on and do and stayed so busy trying to accomplish, and they don't really go anywhere, greater things await you, right? That's this Four of Cups energy. Greater things await you. In the Rider-Waite, this is a card of apathy towards love, right? But in this interpretation, you are actually receiving something, you just don't know what it is. Spirit is reaching out to you with something, but it hasn't come in yet, so you don't know what it is. In divine timing, you will find out. It can take a variety of forms, whatever new is coming, but something is coming for you. And again, Spirit wants you to trust that it is. Do your work here first so that this can come toward you and the wheel can move. All right? This is transformation. Transformation is basically change. You see the little fire in her hands blowing the embers, right? Nothing remains the same. And you need to accept that life evolves and changes through cycles of birth and death and rebirth. And this is a time of transition for you guys. You need to allow this to happen and let go of the old and welcome in the new. This is the second card that you've gotten with the element of fire. This passion is going to come in. And it's going to transform your life. Your passion will transform your life because it is your purpose. And Spirit is going to hand you some passion here that's going to be transformative. Okay? Now, I do have some shadow cards for you guys. I I pulled one murder of crow. Well, I asked Spirit for one murder of crow for everyone, just to give a shadow aspect to the reading. This is Five of Swords. And Five of Swords is that winner at all costs energy. I don't care who I burn. I don't care who I hurt. I'll say what I need to say. I will manipulate or confuse or collaborate with whoever I need to in secret to have things fall out the way I want them to. This is a sword card. And swords are about communication or lack of communication or manipulative communication. Okay? When hunter and prey are locked in, into a fated battle, they can't escape. And someone, meaning you, has to use their sword in a merciless way. Your words can be unkind if winning at any cost is the objective. So, what Spirit is asking you to do here is to not take on this energy of winner at all costs. Now, it may be possible that this could be read another way, that someone is going to be in your energetic field that is like this. That may be the case. And they may not appreciate you taking a different perspective, changing your routine, going after your passions, and chasing what Spirit gives you that's coming up. A new job, a new opportunity, something that lights a fire in you and transforms you. They may not appreciate the transformation as much as you do. Maybe they've always counted on you to take care of all of this stuff, right? And they've got things to say. Regardless, whether this is your energy or someone else's, it's not a good energy, right? Because its primary goal is getting what is wanted for them at any cost, at the cost of others' happiness and fulfillment and whatever. So just be aware of that and just be cautious of that, okay, going into the end of the month here. And then I pulled some traditional Rider-Waite cards for you, and you got the Moon again. You got Judgment, the Moon twice. I thought that was unbelievable. And you've got Ten of Swords. So here's the deal. Moon again, we already talked about this. This is things are being hidden. This is divine timing. You will need to make a decision when this offer comes to you, whether to take it or not. And you will need to make a decision whether or not you're going to try and adjust your life and change your routine so that you have time that frees you up for this other stuff that's coming. Regardless of what is being said to you or what you're being challenged with, okay? The decision is yours. You still have free will, but you will need to make a decision. And the Seven of Cups comes out and says, what is it that you want? So here's the tricky thing. When you've got the Mouse card here and all this energy of frittering around doing things, right? And then this is saying, do more with less. You're going to have to evaluate what it is that's most important to you, right? And in this card of the Seven of Cups, at least in this interpretation, I love this deck for this reason. You've got treasure, like hoarding your treasure. Is it sexual passion? Is it your faith? Is it your home and hearth that's most important to you? Is it winning that's most important to you? Is it the object of your desire in a relationship with someone else and being validated by someone else? What is most important to you? You need to make a decision. Is it this individual? Is it your passion that is actually your purpose coming from Spirit? Is it avoiding the Ten of Swords? Because, man, you have been stabbed in the back enough. It does say you're going to come out of this energy, though, but that isn't relative to the rest of the read, right? This Ten of Swords can be overcome. It can be overcome. But something's preventing you from letting go of negative thoughts and fears. And that's what's keeping you so busy. You know, you got to stop engaging in catastrophic thinking. If I don't mail this on time, oh my God, then the bill won't get paid and they'll come and take the house and, you know, whatever it is, whatever those thoughts are, these negative, energetic thoughts, something is keeping you from letting go of them. Is it this? Or is it the past? Or is it both? You got to ask yourself what it is. Embrace forgiveness where you need to, because everyone, is doing the best they can with what knowledge they have, right? And where they came from. But stop engaging in that catastrophic thinking. Move on. Okay? Because thinking about it, this catastrophic thinking is keeping you from your passions. It's keeping you from your transformation. It's keeping you busy, busy work, busy, right? Busy. Something is coming. Something is coming. And only divine timing will let you see what it is. And my feeling is that you need to address these two issues before you're going to see what it is. A decision needs to be made that you're going to pay attention to this message and do something about your time. So you have time to listen to your intuition. You have time to listen to spirit. You have time to hear your own intuition when something passionate comes in. Okay? I've got one more card for you guys. And the last card is Serendipity. And this is from the Wisdom Oracle. And it basically says, and finishes up the reading by saying that opportunity aligns itself with readiness. And what has this whole reading been about? Your willingness and readiness to let go of the past and your routine and your focus on these distractions, the catastrophic thinking, all of that, to decide what you want, that passion and doing something that's meaningful with your time is most important, right? But opportunity aligns with readiness. The awareness of synchronicity and some magical alignment of events where this is concerned will meet and create miracles for you that you never, ever could have realized on your own. This is a 4-leaf clover. It's coming your way. Okay? So even though there's some aspects of this that, may be interpreted negatively, be aware that this message is being given to you because something is coming. Spirit sees you. You are going to be ignited with passion about some offer that's coming in, has the possibility of transforming your entire life, but it's going to align with your readiness and your willingness to change some of this behavior right now. Okay? It's a 4-leaf clover though, guys. It's a miracle. You never could have planned this for yourself, but Spirit's doing it for you. You're a channel for providence right now, okay? So be aware of that. And be ready for it when it comes. Okay, guys? Much love. If this resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button so that you know when I do more of this, if this was of interest to you. And if anything else resonated with you, any of these other crystals, right? If this crystal resonated with you, or the smoky quartz, or the amethyst from earlier, go ahead and look at the time stamps down below and go check those out, because if it resonated with you, there's probably a reason, and you should probably look at those readings as well, okay? All right. Love you guys. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. Hello, pile 3. You picked the smoky quartz. This was your crystal. Let's get into your story from Spirit. Okay. What does Spirit want you to know? The first thing that we got was the buffalo card from the animal spirit. The circle from Secret Shaman Oracle. And the 1 archetype. You have other cards. I'll get to those in just a second. We start off with the buffalo spirit. And the buffalo is grounded. Buffalo has his hooves in the earth, right? But his mind and his heart aligns with the sky. The lightning represents change, almost like the lightning in the tower, right? The Thunderbird lightning, spirit coming in and intervening. But change doesn't frighten the buffalo, because change is seen by the buffalo as a moment of opportunity for upliftment, for spiritual growth, for more transformation, okay? For some reason, Spirit wanted you to know that. I think that will unveil itself as we go forward. The Circle is the second card that you got. This is from the Secret Shaman Oracle. And this energy basically reminds us that we are all one. All human beings are one, right? We're all united in oneness. You're connected to the same things. You're connected to everyone and everything else, including Spirit, in the same way. That Spirit lives inside every one of us and beats in our hearts and inspires us just like it does everyone else on the planet. Please excuse the sirens for the hospital next to me. Thank you. Just know that you are meant to connect with your higher power. You are meant to connect with one another. You are meant to co-create your life and your existence, both with others and with your higher power or spirit, right? Whatever you prefer to call it. You have a purpose in this world, just as everyone else has a purpose in this world. And your service brings greater value than you can know. All of our purposes have meaning, and all of us should strive to attain our highest purpose. Imagine what the world would look like if we did. The One. And this is about transformation here. Remember, the buffalo is grounded, right? Sees every challenge, everything that gets thrown its way as an opportunity for spiritual advancement, enlightenment, and the pursuit of its own purpose. And this here is saying essentially the same thing, right? That we're all one, we are all interconnected, we can rely on each other, depend on each other in the same way that we can depend on ourselves and Spirit. We can only do that with other people if we can do it with ourselves or with our own connection to Spirit, okay? And then the next archetype is the One. And this is about what you would call, like in Star Wars, the Force, right? This is about that interconnectedness, the higher power against. There's a lot of talk here about Spirit being a part of your life and intervening in your life. That you have a higher power and that energy flows through all human beings for a purpose so we can learn lessons and evolve and grow spiritually. We have to stay grounded and connected to one another and our purpose to achieve our highest good. Accept everyone else as you wish everyone else to accept you. Believe and trust in your higher power as you would wish others in your higher power to believe and trust in you. Okay? So now we get to the sacred earth. This all seems very shamanic, guys. Time. Okay, let's talk about time. Time in the world of the shaman doesn't exist. There's no past, present, future. It's all synonymous, right? When shamans journey, they do not go to the past or the future. Like, it's all one in that journey. Time is an illusion. You know, here in our physical manifestation of reality, yes, you know, we have past, present, future, right? But the past and the future don't exist in that world. Okay? And it's also saying that, you know, whatever comparisons you make to yourself in the past, or whatever aspirations you try to attain for your future, like, oh, when I was younger, I was much better at this, or I was better looking, or I was so talented then, right? Or I'm not as good as I used to be. Or if you compare yourself to other people, right? These other people, well, she's more talented than I am, or he's more handsome than I am, or they're better at their jobs, or I wish I could have that, whatever it is, right? Time is an illusion, just like those comparisons are really an illusion, because you're comparing yourself to something that no longer exists. The only thing that exists is the present moment. What will really matter in a week, a month, a year? And what are you focused on? If what you're focused on won't matter, down the road to you and your purpose and your connection to the people that you love in your life? Is it a priority? Is it something that you should be spending your time on? This card invites you to let go of comparisons wherever they're from, past, present, future, right? Let go of comparisons, because letting go of those comparisons will set you free to live in the present moment. Okay. Then I got a shadow aspect card for you guys. I picked one card for each of the piles. That was the shadow aspect. And this is 9 of Swords. And I know you all know, any of those of us who watch other tarot readings or traditional tarot readings, know that the 9 of Swords is about something that is you're going over and over in your mind. It's keeping you up at night. And in this particular card, the artist's depiction of it is all the horrors that you face in life and the overwhelming things that keep you up at night, right? Those terrifying things, the shadows that turn into monsters looking over you when you're trying to sleep, right? Those anxieties, those I should have, I could have, I would have, I didn't, oh no, oh no, oh no. All of that compulsive overthinking, overanalyzing, going back and forth and back and forth. Again, you've got time here. Spirit is telling you not to focus on that. If you shoulda, coulda, woulda, doesn't exist anymore, okay? It doesn't. Start with now. Right now, you don't have any problems. Because what you're thinking about isn't happening right now. It happened before. It happened in the past. It happened as the result of something that no longer exists. You know, these demons are robbing you not only of your sleep, but of your peace, of your anxiety, of your ability to be still and to listen to spirit and to connect with other people in a meaningful way. Okay? So let go of that. From the Psychic Tarot, we get Authority. It's kind of an interesting card in this whole thing, since we keep talking about a higher power, but this is talking about how you have the ability to be a leader. This is a card number 4, right? This is a foundational card, the 4 pillars, the 4 wands. This is authority. And you see his like Roman garb here, right? But he's also got this illumination around his head, being an authority figure and winning. Logic and strength and the masculine aspect of the energy that you hold, whether you're male or female. If you develop mental control over these aspects of yourself and are able to disconnect from the emotions or the mental anguish that you're living with right here and realize the reality of things. If you can live in the present moment and say, okay, well, that no longer exists. It doesn't pertain to right now, right? If you can incorporate structure into your plans and have concrete goals that you're going after, and you stop thinking about it, coulda, shoulda, woulda, and you actually do it, you can achieve what you want here. Okay? You can achieve your goals. This has to go, though. This has to go. I also think you're probably very good at managing other people here with all of this connectedness energy that we're talking about. We'll get into that some more. Then from the alchemical deck, you get King of Staffs, 7 of Cups. I know it's an odd-looking 7 of Cups, but I do love this deck, so. 6 of Swords, which is moving on, as we all know. 7 of Cups, confusion, what do you want? 3 of Pentacles, building your own life for yourself, being the architect of your life, drawing out what it is you want, manifesting, right? So King of Staffs is a mover and a shaker, you know, kind of comes with this authority card, right? You are a mover and a shaker. You have excellent people skills. See, here's a connectedness piece, right? You have excellent people skills, and you're someone who burns with passion about your beliefs. You have a relational and sexual fire that is evident. You're charming and enthusiastic, and you're very magnetic. Other people find you magnetic. You just be careful in this position of authority with other people reporting to you or working with you or collaborating with you or whatever, that you're not too domineering or stern or egocentric, because that can be the downfall of the King of Staffs. It's also asking you to decide what you want, right? Seven of Cups is a card of discernment, like deciding what it is you want. What are your biggest priorities? What are you going to focus on? You know, in the traditional deck, these cups are filled with different things. They're filled with treasure. You know, is money the most important thing? Or is it house and home? Or is it the object of your desire? Or is it your faith? Like, what is most important to you? That needs to be determined, like what the outcome is that you want, before you can move on and manifest for yourself, which is Six of Swords, and manifest for yourself the life that you want. Because this card speaks to building your life the way that you envision it. Right now, here in the present. Being the architect of your life and fulfilling your purpose. See how he's drawing himself here? Yeah. Okay, next we have the Good Tarot. All of these cards are red in the upright. You've got Two of Water, which is traditionally Two of Cups, Justice, and the Call. So Two of Water is a harmonious partnership, interdependence with someone else, right? Not codependence, but interdependence. With someone who can replenish you and you can replenish them. You guys bring out the best in each other. You co-collaborate your life together. They bring out the best in you, you do with them, and there is a cause and effect here. As your life begins to balance out, you will find this partner. Comes around, goes around here with this Justice card, right? So as you start to balance out, you realize how interconnected you are with people. You remain grounded. You prioritize what you want. You stop living in the past. You stop agonizing about all the things that coulda, shoulda, woulda that you've done wrong or haven't said properly. You get control of your emotions here. And you're able to be this entrepreneur managing what it is, moving on from these old thoughts and fears and doubts about yourself to build your own life the way you want it. This partner will come in. And there's a justice here because this is reciprocal. This is an equal give and take. This is a balanced relationship. The sword of truth is here. There's honest communication here. Okay? Because there can be. Right? Because we've let go of falsehoods and ego, realizing that we're all interconnected with one another. The Call, which is the final card here, basically is telling you that you have everything that you need right now to move forward with your purpose. And you're being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with yourself, your higher power, with yourself, your higher power, and others. That is exactly what this card says. A deeper relationship with yourself, your higher power, and others. So, one of the last cards you get is Blessed. And this is just letting you know that something wonderful is about to happen for you. That it's unearned and unexpected. But grace is coming in with a gift from Spirit for you. And I believe it's your Two of Water here. This relationship, this balanced, just, loving relationship with an equal partner that is balanced. Your final card is luck is on your side, guys. Luck is on your side. So, I hope that helped you guys. I hope that it resonated. And for those of you with whom it did resonate, if you want to hear more readings like this from me and the channel, just hit the subscribe button on the way out. Love you guys. Please leave comments below. If you want to talk about anything, I always get back to my messages, and I love interacting with you guys. So please feel free. I'd love to know if these resonated with you. Okay? Love you guys. Take care, and I will talk to you again. Bye-bye now. Hello, pile 4. You chose the amethyst crystal. It's actually a geode from Uruguay. How beautiful is that? Deep purple. That's what they look like when they're not dyed. Gorgeous, right? Okay, so that is your crystal. Let me get on to your story from Spirit. We're going to start with an animal spirit card. And you got the owl. You also got the archetype of the tear. A couple of messages about the tear and grief here, and releasing it, but we'll get to that. And then you also got the sacred shaman, the secret shaman oracle of the hunter. So let's start with those. First, we're going to start with the owl spirit. And we all know the owl is a messenger from spirit, right? And the owl represents wisdom and clairvoyance of some aspect. However, when the owl appears here in a reading, it's presented as an omen that you'll soon receive a boon or treasure, either spiritually or materially. And this will help you with your highest purpose and what you're supposed to be doing here in this realm. You'll see and know exactly what to do with it when it comes your way. And it will also serve your dharma. You'll know just what to do. So that's the owl. Then we have the archetype of the tear. The archetype of the tear talks about releasing emotions, releasing grief. That tears are often needed when we're having conversations, difficult conversations with others, right? That's what releases our emotion. And after crying, sometimes we have the most honest and truthful and heartfelt conversations with those around us with whom we need to clear up what has been happening. Those repressed emotions come out with the tear. The tear serves a purpose. It's like rain cleansing us of those emotions. Okay, so don't be afraid to experience your emotions or to experience expressing your emotions to others. The hunter. The hunter speaks to only taking what is viable, right? Hunters of the villages, in indigenous tribes, they didn't take more than they needed. They only took exactly what the village needed, right? What they only needed to survive. The hunter also knows what path to follow. He's a good tracker. They know how to get to where they need to be. And in this case, you know how to find success. You need to rely on your skills right now to traverse what you're going through and to claim the bounty that's going to be offered to you when this boon or treasure appears. And don't let others and the maps that they've drawn for your life distract you from what you know is the right thing to do for you. Okay? You've also got wings in there that are like eagle, and eagle flies closest to spirit. So just be aware that this message is coming in for you from spirit, talking about spiritual connection and your emotions, serving a purpose. Discernment. This card in the Sacred Earth Oracle is basically about the people, places, and things, the music and the movies that we watch. Spirit is preparing you for something here, some kind of spiritual treasure, right? And what Spirit is saying to you with this card is, when you're around negative people, whether you are or not, let me just finish this statement here before, any kind of judgments come in, but when you're around people who are negative or people who are judgmental, or you are around music that is angry and violent, or you watch horror movies, for example, right? And trust me, I've done it myself. Or in those environments, all of those things can affect or will affect your spiritual vibration. In order to be in line with what is coming for you spiritually, you have to vibe at a higher frequency, at a frequency that is similar to what is coming your way, to take it in, if that makes sense. So you need to have more discernment about what you surround yourself with. Is it what you surround yourself with? Is it a beautiful garden of people, places, and things, of music and books and experiences? Would it look like this or a back alley? I'm not trying to be funny, but there is reason for discernment here because you have something coming in from spirit. This is not an everyday occurrence that there are these gifts and boons given to us. right? So Spirit is asking you to be more discerning and to start thinking about those things you surround yourself with and how they're affecting your mood, how they're affecting your aura, how they're affecting your energy field, your electromagnetic, excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words here, electromagnetic field. And what you're putting out there for energy is what you bring in. So the more discerning you are, the more you can choose and manifest into your life what it is that suits your frequency, right? Okay. The Psychic Tarot, we've got temptation here. And this is almost like the twin, which is kind of interesting. And there's a key here that's being pushed away, but it actually is a mystical key that unlocks things. Okay? So this image basically says that you're placing too much emphasis on material or physical world and its pleasures. And it's disconnecting you from spirit. And that's where this discernment comes in as well. Maybe you're trying to maneuver your way away from these feelings, you know? I'm just going to use the example of a breakup here just because it's atypical of what I'm talking about, but not because that's your situation, okay? When we go through breakups with someone, we may in the beginning want to get out of the house and go out and see a band, whatever we do with friends, and it turns into a situation where we drank more than we should, we stayed out longer than we should have, and we feel terrible the next morning, but we keep doing it because it distracts us from this, distracts us from our feelings, distracts us from our angst. Instead of feeling our feelings and letting the tears and the grief and the emotion come up and cleanse us of those feelings, because that is the purpose of going through all of that. We distract ourselves. And then I need a new car, I need, a fancier house, I need flashier bling, I need whatever. And that's not being discerning, right? That's not putting ourselves in a high frequency. That's not aligning ourselves with things that will move us towards our highest purpose. That's taking us off the path. So Spirit is just saying, be careful of who and what you surround yourself with and the things that you're focusing on, right? Here. This is the shadow aspect of the read. And this is the Knight of Pentacles. And in the Murder of Crows, this Knight of Pentacles talks about journeying into uncharted realms. And maybe being more discerning and staying away from this is an uncharted realm. So even though it may be better for you in terms of aligning with what you really want in life, what is your highest purpose, and aligning with Spirit, it may be scary because change is scary, right? What keeps you safe and grounded? Is it this? Is the absence of this going to be an issue? This is there's nobility in taking the straight path here. And he's taking this straight and slow and steady path towards what he wants. I'm saying he just because it's the energy of the card. It's not masculine or feminine, it can be either. He turns a blind eye to distractions, like this temptation. This knight doesn't look at this card. He looks away. All he can see is what's in front of him. That's where I want to go. I'm slowly and steadily going to work my way there. The hunter is about following the path. This is about following the path. This is about not being distracted off your path. This is making sure you surround yourself with things that will keep you on the path. There's a theme here, right, guys? There's a theme. Okay. Let's see here. We've got the Art Nouveau. So first you get the Magician, which is about manifesting the life that you want. Then you get the Fool in reverse. This is about not taking a leap of faith with Spirit. Okay. Then you get the Four of Wands. Okay, which is in reverse, which means you have more work to put into your foundations here before this can happen. And then Five of Pentacles in reverse. So this is feeling left out in the cold, right? And trying to come in from that. But here, the couple that is left out in the cold, if they turn the corner, the church is behind them, the door is open, the lights are on. There's a connection here with Spirit. There's no reason to feel like a leper or beggar out in the snow. Spirit is there. Spirit is talking to you. Come into the church, right? And I don't mean that from a traditional religious stance. This is just how the card is presented from an image perspective, like a visual perspective. The story is the same though, right? Connect with your higher self, connect with your higher power, connect with Great Spirit, whatever you want to call your higher power. But that opportunity is there, and it will take you in from being out in the cold. More work is done here, right? They say that a marriage is like Jesus with the church, right? And again, I'm using a traditional reference, so don't shoot me here, guys. I'm just trying to use this as a frame of reference. The Four of Wands can often represent a twin flame relationship and marriage because of the Four Wands. So that's a foundational card because you're building a foundation. It's not an end result. It's the new beginning of a foundation you've set up with this other person to live a life, right? That is in reverse right now because the foundation to live the life that Spirit is saying here on the path you need to follow, which is your highest purpose, needs some more work. And that's this card and this card. This is the work right here, right? But Spirit is also saying you have everything you need to manifest the life you want. You have all the elements. Earth, air, fire, water, you have them all. And with the rose of passion and the white lilies of pure intention, you have discernment here. You'll be able to manifest. And the Fool in reverse here is about not acting impulsively or taking unnecessary reckless risks, like with this temptation card, okay? You need to consider the consequences of the things you're doing before you do them. There needs to be more discernment here on how you're spending your time and your energy, okay? All right, now let's go to the Good Tarot, which is all red in the upright. Hangman, Messenger of Air, and the Five of Water. The Hanged Man has a halo around his head, traditionally, and is upside down because the Hanged Man is taking a time out with Spirit, aligning with Spirit, right? This is about surrendering yourself to Spirit. There is divine timing at play here, and you need to let go of the attachment you have to the outcomes you think you want. Something better is waiting for you. There is a boon and a treasure coming to you. This is the work, right? If you surrender to it, if you don't act impulsively and move in that direction, follow the path, follow the direction that Spirit's laying out for you here, you will see that boon or treasure. Trust that Spirit has something better coming for you. The Messenger of Air is the next card that you got. And this is about an adherence to an outdated dogma that you've learned or trained yourself to believe because of experiences that you've had in the past with others. So this can be projecting something onto someone else, reacting to a situation based on past experiences when that may not be the case at all. You know, these triggering moments, these reactions, these projections will be easier to get a handle on. It will be easier to act in a way that gives you a positive outcome, to be able to step back and be more discerning when you're more discerning about who and what you surround yourself with. Okay? And then Five of Water here, the Five of Cups. Five of Water is about releasing grief by forgiving yourself and forgiving others. In the traditional Rider-Waite, this is about focusing on the past. And here it's saying, you know, you've got these pearls here, right, that represent the 5 cups. You know, forgive yourself for what you didn't know when you didn't know it. Forgive yourself for doing things that you think now you wish you could take back because it's pointless. The past is the past. It no longer exists. The only thing that exists is the present moment. And you can move forward towards exactly what it is that you want. And you can manifest your highest purpose here, right? If you do the work. So no point in focusing on the past. No point on focusing on the spilt milk here. Forgive and let go and release the past so that you can experience what is coming for you, okay? This talks about grief and forgiveness, and this talks about grief and crying it out. So whatever you've gone through, if you need a good cry and you need a good cleanse, there's some advice here sitting here for you. To feel the feelings and then let it go. You know, I was amazed when I got these cards because the higher power is the last card. This is like the last card that I drew for every single pile. Well, I actually drew Moonology before this, but I'm leaving it for last so that you can see what it's about. But higher power, you know, connecting with your higher power, surrendering to the divine, knowing that there's a conscious link between you and spirit, knowing that spirit has an eye on you and, you know, obviously has an eye on you. That you were here for a higher purpose. You were being put on the path. I mean, I thought this was a very fitting card at the end of this read. And honestly, it says, if you see the source, that source is in all things, that we are all connected, and you ask how you can serve to fulfill your highest purpose, your intuition will come in. Spirit will guide you on the path, right? Spirit will guide you on the path. There will be synchronicities. There will be things that show up that tell you, okay, turn this way, go this way, do this thing. Intuitively, you will know, right? But you need time to be still. You need time to get over whatever this is. You need to feel those feelings and release them so you can make space. You need to make space from this and the temptation card over there so that you can come in from the cold here. Slow, steady progression towards this. And then the last card here is show the world the real you. You know, sometimes we surround ourselves, it strikes me here, this messenger of air, about having these dogmas because of what we've experienced in the past. Having these reactions to things because of what they've meant in the past with the people that we were around at that time. And sometimes we surround ourselves with people, places, and things because that's all we've ever known. That's what's comfortable. They feel like home, right? But was it a good place to be? Is it a good place to be? You know, did you ever do something with someone or agree to do something in general, and then you wonder why you're there? Like, you're not happy, you're not having a good time, it doesn't resonate with you on a spiritual level, you just really want to leave, and yet you do it again and again and again. That's the sort of energy we're talking about here with the messenger of the air and being more discerning, you know. Because you are the magician right now. You have the ability to manifest. Spirit has an eye on you and wants you to surrender to the intuitive hits you're getting, the synchronicities you're getting, the feathers you're seeing on the road, the double numbers you're seeing on your clock, right? You're seeing 11, 11, 11, right? You're seeing 222, you're seeing 555, you're seeing whatever you're seeing. You're seeing feathers on the ground. You're having butterflies fly by in the weirdest places. Like, you're seeing all of these synchronicities all over the place. You just need to surrender to it. It's time for you to clean this up, okay? Because you've got bigger things coming your way, much bigger and better things. Okay, Pile 4? That is what I have for you. If you like the read, please hit the subscription button on the way out, and that way you'll be notified when I do another one of these. I also am going to do some other kind of reading next week. I'm not sure if it's going to be a mid-month going into August, probably, for each of the signs. I'm not sure yet, though. But I do hope that this resonated with some of you and that this has helped you to kind of figure out how to move forward in this. It's a big calling, you guys. It's a big calling. You picked this because there's work for you to do, but there's also something very special coming your way, okay? Love you guys. Take care, and I hope this helped. Bye-bye.